So I've got an interesting one today, right? Warren's old moped sold on eBay, £350. Now I made it really clear I was selling the engine only, but it happens to come in the frame currently. And yeah, so it comes in the frame and you're taking the engine, but you're taking it in the frame, you have to fill out the logbook, right? So the guy took it on Saturday. He drove me nuts for a couple of weeks about this bike, blah 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 blah. I made it clear, look, it's probably unbuildable. It would cost more than it's worth to build it. It's not worth building it. You're really just buying an engine in a frame. And he just kept going on, but well, I plan on rebuilding. I said, fine, whatever, that's whatever. So he bought it, paid $350 for eBay, took it away on Saturday. It's now Monday, and today he went through a refund process on eBay because he says the frame can't be rebuilt, which he knew, I have to be honest, and the engine's not running well. Now that engine ran great. How did Warren run into a car if it wasn't running great? And I ran that engine after the crash as well. It ran beautifully. So it's a really weird one here because I've given an engine to someone for 3 days. They could have done anything. He could have swapped parts out for his one. I know he had another one. He was talking to me about the other one. So eBay are pretty shit with this stuff. They just issue refunds. So I might as well get this bike back. Otherwise, he's going to keep the bike and get a refund. So I might as well get it back. It is coming back soon. I don't think he'll be rude or angry or anything. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I'm just here looking at this Outlaw while we're waiting. I was looking at the caliper. I need to know what one it is. So I need to look at the shape. So this is the shape on that side. It's a rear and front one. I'm not too keen on them, but whatever. Rear and front, and yeah, this is the shape. I do have the carrier. I wasn't sure if I had the carrier for a while, so I was looking online. There is one of these for 50 quid at the moment. It's probably worth me snapping up. It'd probably be silly for me not to for 50 quid. However, with the bike not turning, look, it's all it's all twisted. What braces on here? What side? Behind here? Is there a one there? I think behind the indicators there's probably a bolt in there. What on earth holds these bad boys on though? And then of course the top one up here, you probably can twist this straight enough. However, my worry is this left turning issue. It turns right. So look, so what am I looking at? So there's the stop thing. It's just a big blob of weld. So it turns right and it should really stop there. But it don't matter. It doesn't hit the tank. If it doesn't hit the tank, it don't matter. It just about doesn't hit the tank actually. And then it stops quite early on here. So what stops it going to the left at this stage? So there's the stopper. I can see it. So look, it hits. So it hits kind of like normal at the normal stage. I think this bike probably didn't have a big steering lock. My only kind of other option is I could grind that off and we go back to, let me just check it's not hitting though. It's hitting here. So that would be a fail. And then that side it's getting stuck on stop block. This is interesting because that's a frame issue. That's not even a shock issue. That's a frame thing. So I don't really know what the fix is for that. Again, I think it's probably grinding off that. And what I've done in the past is ground it off and put in new weld, but I haven't done that for years. I'm probably not very good at that. Cool, so I don't really know where we go with that. I have to be honest. So hard to see because of the mudguard's a bit dinged up on this side. But the actual alignment now is pretty much straight. If anything, it might be very slightly over that way, but it's quite hard to tell. I'll know for sure if I ever ride it, but with no front or rear brake, that's not going to be anytime soon. I'm just looking at the alignment. It's hard because of the mudguard. I think that's pretty much spot on. It feels fine when I take it off the stand. So I'm going to nip this up. I think the shocks are savable. I think they're saved, actually. The issues now are with that steering stem and of course front and rear brakes. Rear brakes should come back easily enough with a new lead. However, I need to check where the lead goes to, because the rear brake on here, double master cylinder, so it's pushing the front and the rear. So there'll be one coming from here to there. So I'll need to measure it and get the appropriate length. And then I need to look at, basically I need to strip this bike down and look it thoroughly top to bottom. Let me find the key. I think this thing fired up. Let's see if it fires up. Fuel injected, so no choke, I don't think. How are we looking for mileage? 3,500. Hey, that started easily enough. Wow, look at the rear light. It's kind of clear. Wow, that's really weird. I thought that might be a Leo Vince aftermarket. I think that's an original. How's it sound? Ah, silent. Right, we got a front light, no front light. High. Oh, we got a high, no low, so that'll be a bulb one. Yeah, blown bulb. High. Okay. We got any indicators? Front left, rear left, front right, rear right. Okay. How are we for? Let's check the brake switch here. Yep, that's working. Let's check the rear. That's not working. That's quite common. I think the switch, the rear, will be a pressurized switch system on the top of here. Is that there? So until it's repressurized, it won't do that. On occasion in the past, I've really struggled to get them working, and I've just put in an old-fashioned switch here with some sort of mechanism to press it, or here. So this has no, is the rear wheel off the ground? Yeah, this has no brakes at all, front or back, so I can't select gear or anything with this. But that to me sounds pretty impressive, I think. This should be a fairly good, reasonably priced bike, I'm sure. I wonder if we select gear. Yeah. That's in first. Second. Third. Fourth. Oh, I'm happy with that. Back down. This all works well. There's no issues there with the mechanisms. Maybe a touch stiff, it might be. Come on. But I can't. It's my big lumpy legs. There it is. I mean, if it's been down on its sides, all of this might need looking at, greasing up, just double checking. But currently this is a nice sounding riding bike, I think. Yeah, I'm happy with it. This weekend I'll spend some time looking at what I need parts. It'll be that front caliper, it'll be the rear hose. What else? Yeah, eventually all the handlebar stuff. This is an aftermarket one. I'm not keen on it. It's not got the same on the other side. I prefer just originals ideally. But it'd be nice to have some brake. If you really struggle with these brakes, there's no reason why you can't stop them being attached now. There's no legal reason why. You can go straight to one on the back and have the front go straight from the master cylinder on the front. There really is no issue why you couldn't do that. I have done that in the past for bleeding issues, because I find these systems such a hard system to bleed. Cool. I haven't checked the oil. It's too dark, but I'll be waiting for Saturday when I'm back here working on this. The fact that it started there and sounds great, a great start. I was looking at tanks online. I need to check if the Outlaw and the Michigan tank are the same, for example. Obviously I've got one, so easy to do. If they are the same, exactly the same, then I will be probably buying a Michigan one for this, because you can get them for 80-90 quid. What I would need to check is that the system underneath, the fuel pump system, is the same, because I need to transfer it across. But yeah, I'm happy with this. This is my friend's Piaggio Fly 100cc engine. He said to me a few weeks back, Charlie, my bike broke down, it cut out, I parked it here, can you sort it out? I said, yeah, of course. I went and saw the bike where it sat, and it had a small split in the fuel hose. I thought, that's the issue, it's sucking in air, it's not sucking in enough fuel. I'll get it back to the garage, I'll change the hose, we'll be good to go. I checked the oil was low, I topped up the oil was pouring out. I thought, what is going on? I went under the bike, had a look, and I found oil drain plug there missing. So this bike's run out of oil and been run until it stopped. So today's video is simply this: will my new oil drain plug and some good quality oil get this bike running back like normal? Now I'll tell you what's likely to happen. It's either likely not to start up at all because it's CC'd, or it may start up, it may run for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes sitting and then cut out every time. 6, 7, 8 minutes sitting and then cut out every time. That's what happens when bike heat seizes, really. So let's get this bung on, let's get it topped up, let's get the oil in, and let's see what happens. I'm curious. I've done this many times before. Every time it runs for that long and then cuts out. Here it is. Hard to find these parts, but found it through Fowler's Bristol. I love Fowler's Bristol. I think it's the right part. I really hope it is. Don't forget to buy the O-ring as well. I had to pay for that separately. Yeah, don't forget to get the O-ring as well. And again, I'm not 100% sure this fits. They're quite rare, these ones, these 100cc engines. There it is, new cap's in, let's fill it up, check that it's not leaking. Fire this bad boy up and see what happens. Remember, the rule is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, and it will likely heat up and cut out. If it doesn't, then it's actually good to go. That is highly unlikely though. So, oil's in, I've topped it up. I've gone quite high, look, as you can see. Top of the dipstick. Not stupidly high. Just high. My ideal situation here would be to pop the spark plug and circulate the oil. However, I'm not sure how powerful the battery is, so I think we're just going to fire it up and see how it goes. Again, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. May or may not cut out. Remember, air-cooled engines will cut out if you leave them too long anyway, in heat or anything, but we'll know. I'll know. Does it even start up? Not a bad start. The engine does sound loud though. Hopefully the circulating oil will sort that out. There you go, it's settling already. That's why ideally I would have popped the spark plug and run it, but look, it's settled down already. What you were hearing there were dry valves, really, not ideal at all, but what can you do? Yep, settled down now. Once that choke goes off, that engine should sound absolutely fine. However, that does not mean it's fixed. It has to be able to idle for quite a while, and then it has to run and ride and do everything it needs to do. At the moment it's on automatic choke. Wow, choke only just went off. Wow, choke only just went off. Did you hear that? What we could be hearing here is heat seizure. We could be hearing the engine, either the choke's gone off quite late, or we're hearing the engine fighting because it's considering heat seizing up. I might take it for a spin. So we're 12 minutes now, driving, running and idling. Still sounds a bit tappety, but I don't mind it being a bit tappety. They probably need adjusting. It's worth doing the adjustment. It's worth doing the adjustment. What are we at? 15 minutes. Been running 15 minutes. Front tyre will need changing for MOT. Look. It might actually scrape through, but yeah, ideally a front tyre for MOT. So valve adjustment, quick carb clean wouldn't hurt, although it's riding well. Brakes are good. I think that bike's okay, really. I know these engines inside out, these Piaggio Fly engines, these leader engines. I don't know if this is a leader actually. I don't know if this version is a leader. I think it is. I said I know these engines inside out, and then weren't sure if this was a leader engine or not. Yeah, it sounds fine. It sounds and looks and runs and rides fine. I'm happy with that. That's been 16 minutes now. Somehow that engine's managing